figure that out. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, one of the ways, I can't remember if that's a statutory change or not, but one of the problems has been people in high conflict cases have made so many complaints that no behavioral health specialist wants the case work. They don't want to work anymore. And so that's part of the consequences. Now, right or wrong, I'm not trying to justify it, but people in these conflict cases, either side, because if we have the opposite, all your exes here, they tell a much different story. But so many people in these cases file complaints. I think there was a statutory change or some change that caused that to occur, right or wrong.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And I'm sorry, I don't know if it's Mr. or Ms. for the spelling of Lindsay. So Eisenberg. So please.
It's Miss.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Hi. Hello. My name is Lindsay, obviously. I am on the board of directors for a nonprofit organization called the Father's Rights Movement. I also previously worked in family law professionally for numerous years. I wanted to come here today to address a few issues pertaining to family courts. As my phone goes dark. The first issue that and I think many would agree with, that restraining orders or the like are being utilized far too often and granted more so as a tactic for one parent to circumvent fairness and equality and automatically gain all control of the divorce or custody from the start. I have personally heard attorneys tell their clients, mainly mothers, to say the father is abusive just to gain the upper hand in terms of custody. I think the standards for which these are approved by judicial officers needs more scrutiny and careful consideration before granting them. This brings me into my next subject, which is how family courts seem to have thrown the Constitution out the window. The above being the lack of right to due process before a judge removes mainly a father's access to his children, property, assets, etc. Further, in Troxel v. Granville, which is a Supreme Court case, and many other Supreme Court cases, parents should be treated as fair and equal, and therefore, my question is, why is 50-50 equal parenting not the standard when parents first file for divorce or custody? We have made some positive changes. I work with a lot of different organizations that are working with legislation to pass 50-50 presumption in a lot of states. And so far we have passed it in 5 states. And I will say that the research that's coming from those 5 states is a lot less filings for divorce, a lot less filings for restraining orders, and a lot better parent-child relationship studies and outcomes coming from those states. Numerous studies from the National Parents Organizations, Dr. Fabricius, which I think he's at ASU, and many others have concluded that it is best when children have access to both parents equally. The best interest standard is vague and ambiguous and gives judges too much power in terms of parental access to their own children or how minimal or great of time thereof. No parent should have to spend years or hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight to have equal time with their children. Nationwide, approximately 83% of the time, mothers get awarded primary custody of the children, and the family court system is creating this adversarial relationship with the winner take all, and attorneys know this and use this to their advantage to rack up a bill if they can keep that adversarial relationship going. I feel like times have changed and we have moved in an opposite direction from when the tender years doctrine was the norm, but it seems that most family courts still stick with that way of thinking. I am requesting that family courts have more transparency and think about what has actually been proven to be best for children, and that is equal time with both parents. I know Arizona, for the most part, is a pretty fair state and does try and get equal parenting timeshare in a majority of cases, but I still feel like this is an area that requires improvement. The stories I personally listen to from thousands of fathers through TFRM are heartbreaking. Fathers.
Ms. Eisenberg, you two are well beyond your time, so if you could just give me a wrap-up sentence.
I have like three more lines. Fathers have gone years without seeing their children, even with court orders in place. I just feel something needs to change, and I truly hope this council will take this information into consideration for the future of our society and for the betterment of our society's children. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Eisenberg. Okay, is there anybody else that has filled anything out that wants to speak? I think we've hit it. Okay. All right. I want to thank all the public for coming here. You know, you all sat here through a long time, and we have heard you.